Hello, everybody. Welcome to wow, tongue tied right there. Hello, everybody, and welcome to my AEW review. What do we got this week, huh? TNT tournament. I did watch AEW first this week, so I'm gonna go with AEW this time, which I feel like now after watching both shows, someone may have made the wrong choice this week again. But what do we got for AEW this week, though? We did kick off the show as the TNT tournament continues. We had Cody Rhodes, who had a was doing a promo, but he sat down like a gaming chair, it looked like, and pretty much there were several screens, monitors as he was looking at the tournament and everybody that was in the tournament. And question who he is Arn Anderson pretty much, claimed how Cody needs to be a champion. Cody wondered, where does he fit in? Is he a mid-carder for life, he says? And, if he smashed the throne because he's afraid to sit into it. And talked about this new title belt and network commission and how, everybody, a lot of critics in AEW right now, move the goalposts because there's a new championship and that, it's okay. But Cody's talked about complacency, he said, or, I think that's the word, of, being in the same place and never going anywhere. He doesn't want this company to be like that, just another body just waiting to go somewhere. He wants this tournament and every entrant means something, he says. Because he talked about all the people that were in this tournament and what they hold from, who he could be competing with next. Because, of course, he's got to focus somewhat on Lance Archer right now, which I believe him and Lance Archer will be in the finals of this whole thing. But he said we're going to find out who has enough of it tonight, he says. So a great promo by Cody Rhodes in the beginning. But we do kick it off the show, of course, with commentary from Chris Jericho and Tony Schiavone again this week, as they talked about what was going to happen tonight. And they pretty much kicked it off with the first of the round. Well, another first. We're already in the second round. But I think another first round of the TNT tournament between Sammy Guevara and Darby Allin, the rematch from Revolution. Of course, they did have some video promos before the match. One with Guevara talking about becoming the TNT champion. And, everybody's in there. They're going to fall to the Spanish God. As Darby Allin, his promo pretty much talked about Guevara and how he's going to get the TNT tournament, though. But as this match began, Darby Allin was making his entrance, but Guevara ended up hitting a dive on him to the outside. He ran him into the barricade and everything. Jericho said that's what the Inner Circle does and stuff, and that they, Santana Ortiz came up with it while they were at home, and Guevara ended up getting laddered in, put it in between the ring, placed Darby Allin there. He went to the top rope and splashed Allin. Looked very deadly, by the way, splashing into it, which at first I'm wondering, like, disqualification, but the bell has not rang yet, so the match did not start. But after the commercial break, I guess the match really did start this time. And Guevara tried to pin him, but Darby Allin kicked out. Guevara pretty much started focusing on Darby Allin and taking him down. But Allin ended up blocking him at one point, taking off his boot, and pretty much focusing on his exposed foot then for a minute. Guevara pretty much kind of came back, hit a big cutter on him then after that, and took Allin down. But Allin, once again, Darby caught his foot and put him in an ankle lock. The foot without the, the foot without the boot and everything. But Guevara was able to get out of it then. They pretty much had some punches back and forth, going back. Darby Allin was outside at one point due to, I think, both of them punching and kicking each other, which I believe he was bleeding at one point. I'm sure people say it's not really safe to have a lot of blood right now, but Darby Allin was bleeding then at one point as Guevara was outside. I think after the second commercial, I think we were after almost 3 commercials in this entire match, but after another commercial, Darby Allin hit a suicide dive, missing the entire move. Guevara got out the way. Those dives looked deadly, especially landing into nobody. He crashed and burned. Guevara got him back inside the ring then. He hit the 630 splash on him. Darby Allin was able to kick out then after that. He set him up for another move, but Guevara had him for that burning hammer GTS thing he was going for. Allin was able to stop it, put him in the Last Supper, and win the match. So very good opening match between Darby and Guevara right there. almost as better as the one they had at Revolution. Even the one they had at Revolution was pretty good, and that was like 5-6 minutes when I saw that. But this was a very good match to kick off the show. You know, my friend told me tonight that, why isn't this the main event? And, you know, honestly, I'm surprised this wasn't at the main event. I guess they needed a hot opener, but I would have put this in the main event if you asked me for this tournament. But we then went back to Matt Hardy's house. Broken Matt pretty much talked about the Elite deletion, which I guess was supposed to happen last week. I obviously probably not done filming it, but he said that Jericho and the Inner Circle did not respond, and that Jericho doesn't know how to handle his broken brilliance, and that is wonderful, and everything. So Matt said that, you know, some feel that Broken Matt is too over the top, and maybe, you know, that's the case for you, the hole in the ass. And next thing you know, they actually went back to regular Matt Hardy. So we went from Broken Matt to regular Matt this time. Pretty much Matt talked about, you know, he's known Jericho for a long time. You know, he's great friends and, you know, friends with the Young Bucks and the Elite and whatnot. And he talked about Jericho showed up, and either you can knock the pillars off this company, of all the Elite guys, and create chaos so you can sit on the top of the throne and become the champion again. But he said this is not a platform for you, Jericho. The leader pretty much trying to do something right for generations to follow. And you know what? He's going to keep kicking every ass of the Inner Circle until he gets to Chris Jericho. So, Broken Matt, regular Matt, I don't know which Matt Hardy is going to go for Jericho. But I guess since, you know, Jericho can now understand the Broken Matt, he will talk to the regular Matt Hardy then. Kenny Omega, I know they had Taz pretty much talk about his moves, pretty much trying to look at the technology of his move, or I don't know, almost like a sports type of thing of, you know, how his moves are deadly and whatnot. But Kenny Omega went against this Alan Angels guy. I don't really know who he is. I called him Discount Eddie Edwards when he came out. Basically, this was kind of a showcase match for Omega. I should say that. I'm surprised this match went on kind of long. I actually thought it was going to be a squash, but kind of gave him some good time out there. And this guy kind of got some offense on Omega also. But, you know, when they were doing that whole, you know, thing with Taz earlier, they focused on the V-trigger. And Kenny ended up winning with a V-trigger after he powerbombed Allen there. So, you know, the match was kind of whatever. It's not much I can really say about this. Kenny won. I'm just surprised it went on for a minute. It was a little bit of a back and forth. Honestly, this was somewhat of a better match from Omega. I thought, I'm surprised this didn't end in a one-wing angel, but it ended in a V-trigger. Honestly, this dude needed to redeem himself anyways after that bullshit he put on 2 weeks ago with the Nakazawa and, you know, I can see why they lost in the ratings 2 weeks ago, because people probably turned the channel because of whatever the fuck that was he was doing a couple weeks ago. I don't know what he was doing a couple weeks ago in Nakazawa, but it was really bad, and I remember it being very bad, and I can see why people turned the channel from that, okay? So, this was something better. I don't know who this guy really went against anyways, but, you know, Omega won. But, not much I could say from this. Maybe he needs Hangman there, but Hangman's at home right now, which you can't blame him, so Kenny's only the tag team champion that is around the show right now. They did like a little sit down. I wouldn't say sit down, but a little bit like a documentary or a video package on Scorpio Sky, talking about wrestling, kind of how he got into wrestling. And you know, he's not going to speak about how he just kind of got into it. He said wrestling has always been there and everything. And you know, he talked about coming up and talked about how he had a serious back injury when he was younger. How the doctor told him he couldn't be able to, you know, work or wrestle anymore, but Sky pretty much said, you know, my back just got better in time, and it got better and better, and, you know, he went back to wrestling and everything, and he just still couldn't catch a break. He wanted to give it one more shot, but nothing was going to go nowhere. So, oh, we like you, but we don't want you and anything, and, you know, he talked about how he talked about his mom and how he stood at his mother's gravesite and, pretty much talked about thinking what he was going to do, just talking to himself several times. What should he do? What direction he was going to go? And he says, you know what? I'm going to give this one more time. One more shot at wrestling, he said. And he's going to give it all. He said he might fail. He may fall on his face. But at least he would know instead of not knowing. So this was part one to this little kind of documentary thing they were doing with Scorpio Sky, because next week they're not going to go into SCU since they had a, to be continued. They were going to go in December 2017, so I guess they'll probably talk about Ring of Honor and his time with SCU and everything. So we'll see where that goes. They also played this Road to thing with Dustin Rhodes, which apparently I did not notice. I guess I haven't been seeing the stuff on YouTube, but apparently Dustin will put his career on the line if he doesn't win this match tonight in this tournament against Kip Sabian. They even played the Being the Elite 200 episode preview. I guess it had Matt Jackson versus Nick Jackson. I don't know what's going on Being the Elite right now. I have not even seen that show in a good minute now. I don't remember what episode I was on. I think I was after the next pay-per-view. I don't even know. I haven't watched in a while. I gotta sit down. I have so much time to sit down and do a lot of other things and watch stuff. Nowadays, I haven't got a chance to sit down and watch Being Elite. So I guess I will, go back to that. But apparently, I guess they got the Bucks fighting each other around the house for some odd reason. But hey, 200th episode. What can I say? I don't know. But they played for Double or Nothing. We still don't know where it's gonna be at. I'm sure it'll be in some building somewhere. Orange Cassidy went against Jimmy Havoc. This is a match I just don't really care about. I don't really give a shit about Jimmy Havoc in general. I just don't think he's good. And I like Orange Cassidy to an extent, but he's just a commie guy, really. I would, I said this earlier to somebody, said, I feel like Orange Cassidy had to carry this match, but listen, this was just Jimmy Havoc beating up Cassidy several times, beating him and, taking his jacket and everything, and, just taking down Cassidy several times, and even put his fingers in his pockets at one point. But Cassidy pretty much came back with his hands in his pockets, drop kicking him, and pretty much, suicide dive, and then he hits the DDT on him. So next Penelope Ford got involved in, but Chuck Taylor pretty much pulled her down. Ford did her split then. For some reason, Kip Sabian came out and did a dive on them. I'm going to get to something about Kip Sabian in a second, but, he landed on both Chuck Taylor and Trent then. Penelope Ford pretty much tried to go for the, I guess, a Hurricane Rana move on Cassidy, but he got out the way and almost hit Jimmy Havoc, but she ended up rolling, just kind of saved herself rolling out of there. Orange Cassidy ended up rolling up Jimmy Havoc, winning the match, and then Havoc and Sabian pretty much jumped Orange Cassidy after. Number one, why is Orange Cassidy and Jimmy Havoc a team? Is that even really, explained? I have no idea why, because, listen, I don't know what any of these guys do. Jimmy Havoc, for all I know, is on Dark, and I just don't give two shits about. Sabian, he's in a tournament, but, I kind of thought this the same way, like, with Shawn Spears. It's like, okay, these guys are supposed to be in the main event and part of a tournament, right? Why are they involved in the middle of a tag team match? Because I said to myself, like I said, Spears did this too, and he was looking for that tag team partner, and he did it tonight, but I'm sitting there wondering, why is he looking for a tag team partner in the middle of this very bad Nakazawa match when he has a main event to focus on with Cody later on in the night? I don't understand that. And another thing here is that not Jimmy Havoc, but Kip Sabian, you're facing Dustin Rhodes in the main event in a tournament for a title. Why is he out there in this? I don't understand this. I don't really need to see this feud. Hey, I like Orange Cassidy. I think he's funny, but I don't think this match really saved anybody from anything. They tried to keep the comedy, very small, but I don't know, man. Jimmy Havoc, I don't know. It's just not good. I'm not really a fan of it, so this is one of those matches I just don't really care about. They checked on MJF since we haven't really seen him in a while, but, he's from his house in Cape Cod, and MJF pretty much talked about that Mankind is, never been in such depressing and debilitary times, but, he hasn't wrestled on TV in a while, and pretty much says fans are craving for him to come back and where he's been and what he's up to. And like he's about to cry, but he talked about he's been gambling every evening and he suffered a very serious injury, a hangnail, a very, very bad hangnail, which he had a cast on, and he kept gambling the injury until it became very life-threatening, but he's going to rise like a phoenix from the ashes, and he will become the world champion, he says. So we have not seen MJF in a while, but he had a promo. Do I know if he's really hurt in that? I don't know. Maybe he can't get out of wherever he's at right now. If he said Cape Cod, maybe it's in Florida, but maybe he can't get nowhere, probably due to whatever with, I don't know, airline bans or I don't know. Like I said, virus probably can't make it right now. We have not. Yeah, I haven't really seen MJF in a while since what? When they were still in Jacksonville at the Daly's place. Now, we don't know. I haven't seen him at all in a while. So there you go. Wardlow had a squash match against Lee Johnson. I will say that, like, whatever not wheelbarrow, but that F5, 360 F5, or spun the hell out of this guy. Basically, Wardlow just had to look dominant, just killing guys out there, so he just murdered this dude. Next, they went to a Dark Order video where it was some guy drinking beer and listening to a voicemail, I guess, from this girlfriend who dumped him as he was watching football from, I guess he was in high school or something, about Preston Vance's football career, somebody at the end of doing injury. And then this guy, he went to, I guess, the office of the Dark Order. Well, he saw the website, and pretty much he wrote, talk about the whole world in his hands and asked for help. And they went to Brody Lee, who was in the office, pretty much thanking him for coming. That, Evil Uno told him a lot about, about the man. It's, the frustration he has right now. Okay, talk about, your height, your weight, and everything. We don't know who this guy is, but people in AEW have landed in their success. That, a lot of people are afraid of success and question, if he looked like he was afraid of success. And he said, and listen, we have strength in numbers. We're offering you that. We are lions who feed on the prey. So he gave him this mask. He says, you're just not one of them. You're Dark Order. Okay? So, not a bad promo from Brody Lee. I will say it, for this time, he came off more of like a cult leader, trying to get people to join and convincing them to join. It wasn't another Vince McMahon, let's take shots at Vince every week parody promo and everything. I haven't had really a problem with that, and I think some have been funny, but it becomes very repetitive after a while because, okay, we get it, Vince and the company screwed you over and stuff, but it's just kind of funny, like, what, week one in, Brody Lee's here, and we spent, like, what, nearly 3-4 weeks taking shots at him from, I guess, how he treats creative, or steaks, or eating habits, or, just multiple shots at Vince every week. So at least this was something different, because even I was waiting for, okay, how we taking shots at Vince this week, huh? Come on, let's see. Put the suit on. How is Vince Brody Lee McMahon gonna do this week, okay? So we didn't get Vince Brody Lee this week. We got cult leader Brody Lee. Which he went against some Justin Law guy. I don't know where they find these guys to go against, but basically a squash match. Hit him with the discus lariat. For some reason, we had Marco Stunt watching it ringside several times. And now they booked the match next week between Brody Lee and Marco Stunt. Why? I don't know. Discus lariat, it should be literally over after one move. If it's not, then I don't think it's a good idea if it continues that long after that. But next, they went to the Best Friends and Orange Cassidy, talking about Penelope Ford and Kip Sabian, saying that, we can't fight Penelope Ford and everything, but we're fight her stupid boyfriend. Why Jimmy Havoc is in this, they don't know. Hey, I don't know either why they're a team, but they're going to get them next week. We then went to the Bubbly Bunch, as everybody was in their house. Guevara pretty much was down about Darby Allin and, Jake Hager, not winning the world title from Jon Moxley. And, things are looking kind of bad right now. They don't want Guevara to be sad, and they're going to do something. So Jericho and them pretty much says, why don't we do a Flim Flam video, okay? Let's do that. So everyone was excited about it. They start dancing then. The Flim Flam, I have no idea what Flim Flam is, honestly, or nor I've heard of it that much. Or maybe I'm not looking at enough Twitter right now, but whoever wins will get a bottle of hand sanitizer. They all did. They dance. Guevara, of course, shows out and flips and break dances all over the place, who pretty much had the best thing. Jericho pretty much says, yeah, you don't need to be a show-off, man. Enjoy the hand sanitizer, Sammy. I don't know how you're going to get it to him, but, Jericho was pretty much looked pissed at it, and then they show one of Jericho's dogs barking. I would have liked if Chris Jericho once again said, release the hounds and sick them on somebody. Maybe Guevara, like I said, the guy looks like the new Mr. Burns when he says that. Smithers, release the hounds. Release the hounds, Smithers. So there you go on that. But Jon Moxley will have a message next week to see who is next in line for his world title. But in the main event, we got Dustin Rhodes versus Kip Sabian in a qualifying match for the TNT title in this tournament. If Dustin Rhodes loses, this will be his last match, which I guess they needed a hook, but honestly, I never saw Dustin Rhodes losing this match in general, even given the hook at all. Match wasn't bad or anything, but come on, it was very predictable, and it's Kip Sabian. The guy's got something, but come on, he was never going to win this match, alright? Sabian loses more than he wins, and you figured Dustin was going to win just to win. I know Penelope Ford got involved at one point, but you know, Brandy ended up spearing her, and Dustin won with his Canadian Destroyer for the win, which, once again, my friend Steven brought this up to me. For once, somebody has won with a Canadian Destroyer. We didn't have to see 4 to 5 Canadian Destroyers throughout the night, or 4 or 5 Canadian Destroyers in one match and used as a basic move. It was used as a finisher, okay? Because the only person I know that would probably do it as a finisher was the man that originated the whole thing, and that's Petey Williams. But for once in a while, somebody has won with a Canadian Destroyer and not using it as a basic move and not being real spotty with it and whatnot. So at least it was actually used as an end-all, be-all and everything. But come on, did anybody really see Kip Sabian winning? No, not at all. Never saw it at all. Okay, so, you know, Dustin Rhodes was going to go over in general. Okay, so, come on. You already knew who was going to win this match. So you knew he was going to retire. You think he would retire in front of no fans? Get real. But, you know, this is what you got to get right now. But nobody knew he was really losing, okay? Dustin was gonna go over in general. So, yeah. Sabian, like Sabian, but you knew he was not going to win, okay? You knew he wasn't. So, Brandy gets involved, stops Penelope Ford, whatever. So, hey, yo, AEW was okay tonight, okay? We got the tournament. I like Guevara and Alan Moore in the main event because Dustin was going to win in general, so that never really doubted my mind. Got some squash matches. The Brody Lee video thing was pretty good this time. Not the usual Vince stuff. MJF was pretty funny. And I did like the Scorpio Sky video they showed, too. That was pretty good. Everything else was kind of whatever, honestly. You know, Kenny had a match. She had a match. Alright, till the beginning match. Like I said, squash matches, and multiple segments. So, not a lot I can say from this, to be honest with you. So, it's an okay show tonight for as AEW. And, you know, probably more they had last week with the empty arena match with Mox and Hager and everything. But we got something out of this as the tournament continues in AEW, okay? So, that's all I got to say from this review. I'm out of here. Comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think about AEW. Tell me what you think about the tournament. Follow me on Twitter at Hoodie9890. Check out any other video that is posted up online right now. 420 blah, blah, blah. That's posted up like now, online now too. So, yeah. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Like I said, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think about AEW.